So let's get right into what we're discussing this week. What's coming before the bar is basically, I don't even know how to say the name of this topic because it's not a very simple topic. We went around and we decided to, how do I say it, Shane? I guess we picked the rappers that make music for a specific audience. So, for example, I can't do the one that we first started this whole conversation on. I would say for me personally, one of the people that I picked for mine was Megan Thee Stallion because she was one of the biggest people who dropped this week. She dropped Cobra, so I had to definitely do one for her, and I had to say for her, it has to be Megan Thee Stallion makes music for women who secretly want to slap the shit out of all of their friends. Honestly, like, especially when you listen to Cobra, does anybody else get that vibe of like, she secretly is really fed up with all of y'all?
See, Megan gives me different vibes.
Okay, what does she give you?
Megan gives me vibes of I don't want to be a hoe, but I want to go to rehab. Like, it's a like I don't feel like she's hit. And I actually thought with her Tory situation, she hit rock bottom. And I don't, it's just like any other addiction in rehab. You until you're ready to make those strides and those commitment, you're gonna always relapse. And I always feel like Megan is a continual relapse. Like you never know that she's healed. She's just gonna keep. She's gonna keep going through this vicious cycle, and then say afterwards, like that makes it all better and shit, like that. But it's never like you can never take Megan seriously. But then until it's time for her to sign a contract, then it's that. Then she turns into the Law and Order on the stand, with the fucking Olivia Benson fucking leather vest and shit, and she, you don't know what the fuck you finna get from Megan. She's like, I just don't know what happened, and she's all innocent. Like, remember that movie? Well, I'm gonna throw out a movie reference. Hopefully, Allie, you've seen it. I get a little crazy. I shouldn't drink. And then, 2 seconds later, after this little sip of yak, get over here, and it's all this shit. So,
okay,
Megan is a wild one, but I feel that she do want to slap her friends.
Okay, well, I mean, I agree with the she's a wild one. I will also say that it does seem like she needs to heal. Like we've said that before, because it seems as though she brings up the topic of like she's going through a lot of shit. And like you said, that Tory Lane stuff, he just now got convicted, right? But it's still like it just now got handled legally. And I feel like she also just now got people, or at least the internet, to stop talking about it or making fun of her for it, and calling her a liar specifically. So I think you're right. There's obviously a lot that's happened and she does need to heal. And I think it's interesting though that you say the whole hoe thing, like she doesn't want to be a hoe or like doesn't want to come out as a hoe. But I feel like all she did before was talk about in her music about how she was out here thotting and she was okay with it. Like she always talked about multiple boyfriends. That was a big theme in her other songs. But now, since we know her to have been with Party and that whole thing happened, I think that it was interesting that she put that in Cobra. And so I think you're kind of right in terms of like, I think she does give off this whole I'm a badass boss ass bitch, but sometimes she also seems like a victim, and we're not sure how we're supposed to categorize her at any moment. So I think that was really, perceptive of you to have picked up.
I don't think Megan is the leader of the hoes or the thoughts. Like I think you got to get that to one of the three. You can either give it to Suki, you can give it to Sexy Red, you can give it to Glorilla. You can even make the case for Cardi, but I just don't think that fucking Megan Thee Stallion is in that fucking.
I think that she was one of the people who helped start it because I for sure think it was Cardi. Like, what was it? She was online talking about like hoes never get cold or whatever. Then it was Megan, like all the hotties, we driving the boat, we out here, we popping it, all this shit. And then it was little bit more Suki. Now Sexy Red is having her moment. So I think that she's one of like the founding, I don't know, not fathers, founding mothers of the movement.
She's the founding thought of thoughts.
The founding
What do you say?
thoughts.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Thoughts.
What does everybody else think though?
I think you got to go back further for real. Like I grew up, like I feel like most of us here, I know me and Shane grew up with like Trina. I mean, even before that, you got Lil Kim, right? They was on that same stuff before, you know, these Nickies of today. And I love Nicki. I love Cardi B. I love most of these female rappers. I think that I said this on social media the other day that I think the females are running the rap game right now. Every hit record that comes out seems to be one of them, if not every time type shit. So they're definitely running shit right now. But I don't know. Sex always sold. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was never. It was. I feel like if you say who started it, I mean, for me, probably like Lil Kim, maybe Lil Kim, the Brat.
Yeah. She's definitely like the foundation. I feel like Kim is the blueprint for a lot of the artists, you know, the female artists nowadays, for sure. I was thinking more about like in the last recent years. I just feel like for some reason.
Sure. Oh, what about City Girls?